ist gut. Good morning, Monica. Good morning, Monica.
Good morning. Who is that?
This is Neer.
Oh, hi, Nia. I can't see any faces yet. All I can see is, can you see any faces? Oh, there you are. Hi there.
Yeah, I was just stopping my video. I need to step away for a few minutes, so I'm stopping my video and muting myself. But as long as you're here, I know everybody's going to be welcome, so that's good.
Well, we're early anyway, aren't we?
Say again?
We are early anyway.
Oh, yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Okay.
So just for a few minutes. So talk to you later.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, Monica.
Yes, good morning, dear. You look wonderful.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
You do too. How are you? How was your Mother's Day?
Oh, very nice. Thank you. Yes. How about
Good.
yours?
It was nice. Yeah.
How's your mom doing?
Oh, she's hanging in there. Yeah, we all, my daughters and I and my family, we went over to her house and we had a lunch and yeah, she's doing okay.
Oh,
In fact,
good.
I'm probably taking off after Rotary, going to work at her house and going to stay a couple days there. So
Okay.
yeah.
That's
Have you
good.
been getting out for a walk?
Yes, I've been busy.
You've been busy? Okay.
I broke my arm, you know.
I know. What? How is it healing?
Hey, next week the cast comes off. Oh,
Good.
6 weeks. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I hope it's healed enough that they say I can get the cast off and then
Get the cast off. Yeah.
This cast isn't too bad. The one before this was worse because that was a regular heavy cast. Then and then of course my fingers hurt so much anyway, so I couldn't do anything. But you feel very frustrated.
Oh.
Can't even.
Is it a full hard cast or?
This one is like a plastic cast. This is the third one I've had.
Oh my goodness. Huh.
The first one was from here all the way down to the elbow.
Oh my goodness.
And the second one was from here down to here, and now this one.
How
and I can't undo it. It's not supposed to undo it to shower and things like that. So I changed the bandage underneath this morning, but otherwise you can't touch it. So next Wednesday,
Where's it broke at on your
right
arm?
at the radius,
Oh,
right
right.
across the radius. Yeah, clean
Okay.
break right across. Done that break.
No, it's not. No. Oh, sorry.
Sitting on my office chair. I was going out for the lunch on Easter Sunday, waiting for somebody to come to get me. And I thought, oh, I can go in the office and do some stuff. Well, my printer had been working out and being naughty. And suddenly I was sitting on my chair and the printer started going, sending out all this paper. And I thought, oh, I'll lean forward and pick that up. Well, I've got a plastic mat under my thing because protect the carpet. And the chair went backwards and I went
And
forward.
you went
That was
forward.
all it took. Yep. And you know,
Thank
it's funny
heaven you
because it's only from the height of a chair to the ground. That's not that far.
I know, but you could have hit your head on the desk. Oh my gosh.
Well, yes, or backwards hit my head. It could have been
Right.
a lot worse. Yes, of course it could. Yes. Hey, Jonas, look at
There's
Jonas.
Jonas.
In
Good
his office.
morning,
Your
fellow
office-
Rotarians.
Good
Your office.
morning.
Look at his office. All
Look at your
cleaned up.
office. It's all different.
Yes,
Oh.
it's actually organized. I'm becoming a minimalist.
It is. It's very
This is in the new
organized.
house, right?
Yes, we are out of Snoqualmie.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
My back still hurts,
Oh, I bet.
but I just spilled coffee.
Uh-oh.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. It
Oh.
looks like a router issue.
Alexa's talking to me for some reason.
Yeah.
Wait 10 seconds.
Oh, how's everybody?
Plug it back in.
Scott, I met your niece, but I haven't met your brother-in-law or
Okay. Yeah, he told me that they were gonna be introduced, so.
yeah, they go out and they rollerblade every day. Those girls are outside.
Fun.
Yeah. So Emmy got a set of rollerblades and she's practicing up on the deck so she can go out with them.
Oh, good.
Cool.
Hey, look who's back from Northern Colorado.
Stacy,
Stacy's there. Yeah.
Stacy.
is she in Linden?
No, I'm here till tomorrow.
Oh, you're
You know who
here.
I met yesterday, Stacy?
Who?
Abby. She's on the
Oh,
board.
you did? Isn't she wonderful?
Yes. I swear I was like, this lady, I didn't know the time she worked with you guys. I
Mhm.
said, she has to be like a news anchor or something. She looks like a newscaster.
Oh my God, she is so freaking adorable. I just love her.
She
She's
works
on
with
the,
you?
YMCA board with.
Oh,
Yeah. She's actually our chief experience officer. So I work with her, but I don't report
Stop.
to her or anything. But yeah, she's amazing.
A chief experience officer.
Yep.
That's the different title.
Yeah.
I think she should become a Rotarian.
Hey, Sandy,
Yes.
Probably should.
when you're back finally, then we need to get together and plan a trip somewhere.
Let's do it. Yes.
Let's do some. I'm going to Connecticut in June, so it's not far away, about 3 or 4 weeks. For 1 week, going to Connecticut.
For a whole week. Okay.
My granddaughter's graduating from high school. I went to the other children's graduations from high school and college. And I don't know if I'll be around for her college, but I really want to see her graduate. from high school.
Good. Well,
Yeah.
that's good, Grandma. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know in June, I'm going to back to Utah because another great grandchild is being born. So, yeah.
Wow, a great grandchild.
Right,
I
it's
haven't got
it's
any of
my-
those. I
it's
know,
my
I haven't got any of those.
Well,
Mine
it's my
didn't-
stepdaughter. Yeah, it's my
mine aren't
stepdaughter's
married,
kids.
My grandchildren are not married.
You guys didn't know this, but Sandy's 106 years old.
That's right, I am.
No,
Yes.
she must be.
Oh, man. So this Tom Watson, I don't see who's on here. I was watching some videos on YouTube of some of the stuff.
Neil was on here, but he excused himself for a minute. He had to go somewhere.
Okay, let me see. We got 10 folks on here. Oh yeah, Tom's on here.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Tom,
Morning.
Tom.
that's the guy that I saw on YouTube. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So I'm excited because you are a eco-consumer advocate.
Yes, I do public outreach for the EcoConsumer program as part of my job with the Solid Waste Division.
Okay. And, I was watching some old videos from, I think in the 90s and then the 2000s, and you don't look any different. But I guess you and Mary Nam
Mary Nam.
on, is that Como or?
Yes, I did EcoConsumer segments on the Como 4 o'clock news for a long time.
Yeah. So what I thought was so cool, you brought this stuff to show, and you would like tell the TV audience to explain what it is. And do you remember the little boxes that you would show they were made back east, and you would talk into them, and then it was like maybe 2005 or something like that. And then you had a washing machine, a portable washing machine. I'm sure you've done so many, but.
We brought in a lot of fun props, and I have a couple today to show you guys too.
Oh, very cool. Well, hey, there's no better time to get started than on time. And if you guys are okay, Tom, go for it. Let's hear your wonderful story.
All right, thank you. I really appreciate you inviting me and all the great civic service work that this Rotary Club and all the Rotary clubs do. I have my remarks and notes all scripted out here to try to cover as much as possible. And I really love questions too. If I don't get to all your questions today, or if I don't have the answers at my fingertips, I can follow up with you later individually by email. And in my remarks here, if you can't hear something or see something that I show, or you want me to repeat something, just unmute and jump in and say so, since I can't easily see your chat comments or questions. So at King County Solid Waste Division, my employer, I do public outreach to help people with reducing waste, recycling, and other environmental stuff. King County Solid Waste Division basically has the role of dealing with all the garbage generated in King County outside of Seattle. Because all the different types of materials get handled differently for disposal or recycling or reuse or composting, it all gets pretty complicated. And those services are provided by not just the county, but also by city governments, the private garbage companies like Republic and Waste Management and others. Also, all that stuff that we need to get rid of, all the products and packaging and everything else is constantly changing and evolving. So recycling programs and other solid waste management efforts need to keep up with that. Before I talk about more locally related stuff for you guys, I want to show a couple examples of how packaging has evolved, which affects us all. My first two props are actual artifacts from around 50 years ago. You may recognize a can like this, and the way you can tell this Rainier Ale beer can is that old, is it has the old-fashioned pop top or pull top or pull tab that came off. Some of you may remember, I certainly do, that these removable pop tops with the rings were a big litter problem and safety hazard in the 70s. When they came off, at the beach, you could easily cut your foot on these littered pop tops. And that was even mentioned in the famous Jimmy Buffett song, Margaritaville, where he cut his foot on a pop top. Under a lot of pressure, the aluminum can industry and the beer and soft drink industries phased out the removable pop tops on cans by about 1980, replacing them with an attached pop top. That was an environmental win. Now here's another example. You gotta scroll through here. Now here's another example of a type of packaging that has disappeared. In this case, it ended up being more of a negative for the environment, in my opinion. This is an old reusable heavy glass Coke bottle that you would return for a deposit. My family took our Coke bottles like this back to the grocery store every week in the 60s. But reusable glass bottles for soft drinks and beer got pretty much phased out by the 80s. Now, here's a current packaging example that has become ubiquitous, especially now with the pandemic and with so many folks buying stuff online. This is an example of how recycling is never going to be a total solution. Amazon and the plastics recycling industry now say you can recycle Amazon mailers like this with plastic bags. It says so right on this mailer. But recycling these or any plastic bags is not easy these days. You should not put plastic bags in your home recycling cart, even in a bag of bags. The recommended way to recycle plastic bags is to take them in a bag of bags like this to a bin at the grocery store. But I would say it's pretty uncertain right now with COVID how many of those plastic bags are actually getting recycled. And not all grocery stores even have those bins for plastic bag recycling. Overall, to reduce waste, conserve resources, fight climate change, and save money, by far the best thing you can do is simply to buy less stuff. Buying less new stuff by repairing things, buying more durable products, buying and using reusable products, using your stuff for a long time, buying used stuff, or simply putting off new purchases as long as you can. All those kinds of buy less stuff strategies will help save the planet way more than recycling ever will. Behind me, hanging on the wall here in my little apartment in Seattle, is a blanket that my dad won in a church raffle about 90 years ago when he was a kid in rural northern Indiana. I love this old blanket from my dad, which I had used as a kid. And I currently live alone and I didn't want to buy anything new. So several years ago, I put it on the wall and most of my furniture is used. As another good example of reuse and saving money these days, during COVID, try to use cloth face masks. We're still wearing face masks part of the time when we're indoors around other people and not at home. So try to use cloth face masks like my two face masks here as examples instead of disposable masks. Now, lots of people in our area are gung-ho about helping the planet and going green, probably some of you, but we always need to make sure that whatever conserving and reducing and reusing you do, it needs to work for everyone in your household, your spouse or partner, your kids, everyone, not just you. No matter how green we want to be, we all need to be understanding of the needs of everyone in our household. For example, maybe for their mental health, your spouse needed to do a lot of online comfort shopping, which can be wasteful during the pandemic. I would say unless it's putting you into bankruptcy, just let that go for now. Although hopefully that kind of COVID comfort shopping for things you don't really need can wind down soon. And related, as we personally try to be eco-friendly, we also need to be understanding of the perspective of businesses, including small businesses like many restaurants. Everyone's been having a tough time with the pandemic, and we need to be not be too pushy about stuff like, say, being able to use our reusable tote bags again at the grocery store. Some stores might not be ready for that quite yet. So try to be understanding about that kind of thing. Now I want to go over some recycling and disposal stuff more local to you in the North Bend, Snoqualmie area. I realize not all of you may live there, but I believe some of you do because the club is based there or work there. Questions about your basic home recycling should generally go to your garbage and recycling hauler, wherever you are, or your city. In North Bend, that hauler is Republic. In Snoqualmie, the hauling company is Waste Management. For recycling and other questions, most cities also have a solid waste contact person. In North Bend, I believe that's Carrie Smith. Another resource for all kinds of recycling and garbage questions, no matter what city you live in, is our King County Solid Waste Division website. The North Bend Snoqualmie area usually has 2 special recycling events each year. The most recent one was April 24th at Snoqualmie Middle School, and the next one will probably also be there in September. At those special recycling events, you can bring appliances, scrap metal, electronics, tires, batteries, fluorescent bulbs and tubes, and reusable household goods and clothing. Special recycling events are held in many King County cities, and they aren't all the same, but generally those all are open to all King County residents. For household hazardous wastes, King County's mobile Haz Waste collection service called the Waste Mobile will be at Cascade View Elementary School in Snoqualmie on July 9th, 10th, and 11th. Do an online search for King County Haz Waste or something like that to see what is and isn't accepted at those mobile Haz Waste collection events. There are lots of specifics and some limitations for both the Haz Waste collection events and the special recycling collection events. So check those websites out before you go. The biggest recycling news lately is that paint recycling just got a lot easier under a new Washington state law that took effect April 1st. The paint industry funds this program with small fees that are added to the purchase of new paint. A lot of us have old paint left over that getting rid of has been a hassle because latex paint had to be handled separately from oil-based. But that's easier now. Because now most paint stores will accept all kinds of paint for recycling. Just visit the Paint Care website. Paint Care is the name of the organization that runs this program in Washington and 8 other states, or search for paint recycling or Paint Recycling Washington to find the website. Then just enter your city or zip code to find nearby paint recycling locations. For the North Bend Snoqualmie area, the closest participating paint stores for paint recycling, where you can bring your old paint, are in Issaquah, Covington, Bellevue, and Redmond. Mostly Sherwin-Williams stores, but also a couple Rotary stores and a Miller paint store. So those are places where you can take your paint. For all these services we're talking about, and for basic garbage disposal at King County's transfer stations, or at the Cedar Falls drop box, which is the closest facility to North Bend, I know people often have issues not getting the right info, or maybe specific negative experiences or interactions you have at our facilities. But I do know the Solid Waste Division overall is committed to try to keep getting better at serving the public, all King County residents, equitably, even during the pandemic. If you're ever frustrated about something, recycling or environment related, and can't get help, you can contact me directly with my work phone number, which comes directly to me here at home now, or by email. You can find my contact info on the King County EcoConsumer website. That's the name of the outreach program I manage. If you do contact me, I'll try to find an answer for you, just like I will to follow up on any of your questions today. I may not always be successful helping you, and it may take a little time, but I'll try. At that, let's open it up for questions. And if we have a break in the questions, I have plenty more stuff that I can talk about. Anyone have any questions or comments?
Yeah, I have a question. So I'm in unincorporated King County.
Yes.
So, and I also have Republic Services as my carrier.
Okay.
We get recycling pickup every other week. So I'm assuming that that's something that King County negotiates with Republic, because across street from me is the city of North Bend. I'm right on the border, and they get recycling pickup every week.
Yeah, well, I believe it's a little complicated where it's more for unincorporated areas, it goes through the state, UTC, utilities, and what is it, Transportation Commission, maybe? And but King County is involved. And is there a issue? Would you rather have it every week, or
Oh, yeah.
it's considered more efficient to do it less often if it works for people. Sometimes even garbage collection is done less frequently than it used to like in Renton and other areas. But that's something that it would be good to let that be known to Republic, but I'm not sure. Hopefully it can work for you having that twice a week collection.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Sorry, I can't be more help on that.
I got a question for you. So I just moved and realized, how stupid of a consumer I am with all this stuff. And, it'd be great to know, like I had, I don't know, 50 plastic bins, and I've used them for 10 years, and I put them out to be recycled, but they wouldn't pick them up. And what is plastic actually recyclable? Because I know that you don't want like saran wrap and wrapping, and what is
Plastic recycling is another thing that's super complicated, and the hauling companies pick up stuff that they have markets for, and the markets change. So bins like that, if they're still reusable, you could possibly donate them, but otherwise you'll have to put them in the garbage. If smaller plastic bins, some recycling programs would accept in the bin, but if they're too big, they might just not want them. But it's the recyclability of plastics depends on the type of plastic.
And can I follow up with another question?
Sure.
So I've been to the Factoria transfer station probably 5 times in the past couple weeks. And I used to go there anyway because I would go up to the Cedar, the one in North Bend, and just had lots of troubles there. So can you actually take your boxes and recyclables? You don't have to pay to do those, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so I have tons of boxes. I can take those, and they don't weigh the car and charge you like they do when it's trash.
I'm not absolutely sure how it works at Factoria, but you might have to go through the line twice, but they won't charge you for the recyclables like that they accept.
Oh, and just a real quick question. On the paint recycle, do you have to put sand or kitty litter in it, or can you just take it to Sherwin-Williams?
You just take it, and they take all kinds of oil-based or latex or stains and things like that. But check their website for the information. But I know annoying for some customers thing about paint recycling is that the Factoria transfer station that takes hazardous waste, transfer station there in Bellevue, they are still not handling paint. They're handling paint the old way, they're not taking latex paint, but they're taking oil-based paint. So for paint, I would go to the paint stores, and that's going to be closer and easier anyway. And we're trying to get that resolved at Factoria, so they can take latex. That paint recycling has to be worked through this big organization that works for the paint industry, Paint Care, and they have contracts for all that. But and that's basically a state law. Yes.
Questions? Yes. What do you do with rechargeable batteries? And what do you do with smoke detectors, which have a radioactive element?
I believe to confirm, you would have to, about the smoke detectors, you should check the King County, just Google King County hazardous waste or household hazardous waste and check that. I believe that smoke detectors are accepted at the household hazardous waste collection facility at Factoria and at the Waste Mobile, the mobile program that comes to Snoqualmie. Rechargeable batteries, I believe that all Bartell drugstores, you should also confirm this, but they take rechargeable batteries and check that, call the store. There is, if you're in the North Bend area, there is a Bartell's there in North Bend, I believe, and call or ask them to make sure before you bring in a bunch. But I believe like at their electronics desk, you can take rechargeable batteries to Bartell's. Another good resource for battery recycling, including other kinds of household batteries, the regular alkaline batteries and others, is our King County What Do I Do With website. And that's, you can just Google King County Recycling and find that and check how to get rid of all different kinds of materials. And you could click on batteries and look up the places that take batteries.
Thank you.
Yes, David.
I remember many years ago, it was really quite a big deal when the plastics industry agreed to put recycling signs on all the kinds of plastic that could be recycled, and they had different numbers for the type of plastic it is. And the idea was, if your piece of plastic had one of those symbols on it and your recycling carrier supported, say, plastic type 2, then all you had to do is just throw in whatever it is into your recycle bin and they'd take care of it. And now it just seems like it's a total mess. You just have no idea who takes what type of plastic. And I don't know what to do with it anymore. What's your advice?
I don't have good advice on it, on how to keep it from being a mess. And that the plastic industry kind of set that up and put those codes on there. They didn't agree to do it. They did it because they wanted to kind of present recycling as the solution. And in reality, it never meant for plastic recycling actually on the ground that just because something had a number and a symbol on it about what kind of plastic it was, it never meant that that was recyclable or would get recycled. And so the ones that need to get the recycling done are the companies that pick it up and the processors and the end markets and the local governments that do that under contract sometime. And that's just still a mess. And so to make it easier for the public, most recycling programs say, for plastics recycling, they just say any plastic bottles or small containers. They don't go by the numbers anymore, but it is a mess, and that's something that's constantly being worked on, but it's not in the interest of industry to make it better. They want to say it's the plastic waste problem, including in the oceans, the huge problem. They say, that's the consumer's fault because they're not recycling it and it's all recyclable, and that's BS. So I don't have a good answer for that one, but you can ask your hauler about the recyclable plastics. The markets for those are an issue, but that's a big environmental problem that the industry is certainly a main has a lot of culpability there.
So along the same lines, talking about the problem of plastics in the ocean, I've been reading articles that say that huge numbers of fish in the ocean have plastic in their bodies because they're just consuming microplastics. The plastics get into the ocean, they get degraded, we get tiny little bits of plastic throughout the ocean. The fish are consuming it. So fish that we buy at the market have plastic in them. And should I just stop buying any product that has plastic packaging? Or can I be assured that if I throw my plastic waste into the waste, it won't get into the ocean?
Well, some people are doing that, and a lot of plastic should go in the garbage, but the ones that are accepted by your home recycling program should be fine. Those should be getting recycled. Plastic bags, which should not go in your home recycling bin, are a little iffier. Some of those I throw out, some of those I save in the bag of bags till I get around to taking them to a grocery store that takes them if I can find one. But yeah, I think you're right.
I had a
Yes,
question.
Carla.
So we had, I can't remember her name, but it was somebody from Zero Waste, I think.
Yeah, Heather Trim, I know her, yes.
Yes, we had her a few weeks back. And kind of my frustration is, and I think most people's, we all want to do the right thing. But it's become so frustrating and you just don't know what goes where and how to recycle properly. And what would you suggest as, like, if there could be one best resource for us to use to know where things should go, would that be the What Do I Do With site from King County?
That would be, it's not always great, but it would be the best for things that don't go in your home recycling bin.
So is there another resource to, one resource to use instead of having to go to like 50 different sites to figure out what to do with what? Is there one that you could suggest?
I would say the Solid Waste Division website. So Googling King County Recycling, and then on there, you can get to What Do I Do With, and you can also get to the links for the garbage and recycling companies in all the different cities. And then you could go to your hauler for the questions. If you have a question about what is or is not accepted in your home recycling bin, you should, I would say, go to the hauler. The haulers, and sometimes cities, if you're in a city, try to get that information out to folks too. But I think the Solid Waste Division website is probably the best. But that's why part of my spiel today was sort of an apology that it doesn't always work great, and that our services don't, and we're trying to do it. And as the last resort, you can shoot me an email, tom.watson@kingcounty.gov, and I will try to answer your question or send you to the right resource. But it is going to be frustrating sometime, and I'm sorry about that.
And you might regret giving us your email, or me anyway.
I don't. I give it to everyone. It's all over the internet, and yeah, I won't regret it at all. But I also mentioned I can't promise I'm gonna be able to help you. I basically have to, if it's a real specific question or complaint, I refer you to someone else that I think and hope will respond, but I can't guarantee that. But we are trying to help. We're a public agency. It's frustrating for people.
Thank you.
Should we wrap up soon, or I'd love to keep going and answer more questions. I could even talk about a few more things, but it's 8:02 now. What time would you like to me to wrap up, including answering questions?
Well, does anybody have any more questions for? This is a great topic, and it's, I look at it as something that what you do is reactive and the root is proactive, is we are a consumerism and we're creating all this stuff and you're just reacting to the problem that we have. You know,
Well, yes, but my job, I mean, maybe that's the role of the agency, being reactive to try to handle garbage and help with recycling. But I consider, I've tried to make my job doing public outreach and providing information and some services as more proactive. And one example of that is my main, I was gonna read my bio, which just gave my my background, and I think I will real quickly, and then talk about. Let's see if I can get to it.
And Tom, we, David and I both posted that what to do with
Okay.
website. We'll actually put that out on our Rotary website, because I think that's, you know, people don't take much time. If they can't figure it out, they just throw it away.
Okay, the proactive part is that a lot of my job is managing the King County Free Community Repair Events program. So that's something where we go to I'm gonna I have that my notes here. In the Free Community Repair Events program, we have these skilled fixers and sewers that try to fix and mend your stuff to reduce waste and conserve resources. And we've had 65 of these repair events so far, all over King County, outside Seattle. And these are 3-hour events, usually at libraries or community centers. And we've had 3 of these in the Snoqualmie Valley, in Duval and Carnation, and at the North Bend Library in September 2019. And we had to cancel our 12 scheduled repair events last year due to COVID. And we won't have any indoor repair events this year, but we will have a handful of outdoor repair events this year in parking lots. And so far this year, we only have 2 scheduled in Kent, June 19th, and Woodinville, July 22nd. So that's something, repair and reuse and not buying stuff is a way that we're trying to be more proactive and help people that way.
Tom, it's very funny you mentioned that, because about 2 years ago, I started a Facebook page called the Valley Repair Shop.
Wow.
And the subtitle was The Lost Art of Repairing Things, because we just throw things away. I never did anything with it. I just tried to put people's businesses and stuff on there that actually fix things. So I think, you know, I love, there's a TV show in England called The Repair Shop. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but
I've heard about it.
Yeah. The idea that we've just become a trash culture, we just throw things away. And I would love to be involved with supporting a repair day in the Valley, you know, like you were saying, if we can.
And we have had them, and it won't happen this year, but possibly next year we can do that. It's a complicated program to like everything, but to arrange for the to find the fixers and schedule it. But if you yes, I want to connect with you about that. Another thing that we try to do, we try to promote tool libraries, and there used to be a small one in Falls City, and that the person who ran that passed away, Del Moore, several years ago. But that's challenging to manage. Also, there's only a couple in King County and Federal Way and on Vashon Island, tool libraries. That's another thing related to repair. But I would like to connect with you about that and maybe do some more promotion of repair in your area.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
On that, Tom, what are one of those events like? Do you make appointments? I did see when it was here, I saw the flyer or something came across for it, but
good.
Is it an appointment that you make?
Well, this year we're sort of doing appointments because of COVID and being all outdoors and everything's different now. But before, it wasn't appointment. It was you could contact me in advance and let me know what you were interested in bringing in. But it was basically first come, first serve, and we took walk-ins. This year, for these few, maybe as few as 2 outdoor events we're having, it is by appointment. It's a 3-hour event, and we give you a time to come, an hour to come, so we can try to have someone work on your item. But there's so many caveats about, we can't say, yeah, we're having this event, bring in your stuff and we'll fix it. If it needs a certain part, then you have to get that part in advance and order it and bring it in, and it's tough sometimes. But we have fixed a lot of stuff at these events. Lamps are the thing that we work on the most at these events, and we have the replacement parts for those, the cords and things, and that's something that a lot of people are a little leery of working on themselves because of the electrical angle if they aren't skilled with that. So we do that. We fix a lot of small electronics, small chair and table repairs. We have a whole sewing crew that does a lot of stuff. So between the general repair and all kinds of weird items too, and toys and fans and vacuum cleaners but with all the at the 65 repair events we've had the last 5 years before COVID, our average of sewing and general repairs was that we were able to fix more than 70%, fix or mend more than 70% of the items that came in. So that's not bad.
No, that's great. Was this a free event too?
Yes, absolutely free. It's a waste reduction event that the solid waste division funds. That's why I mentioned it as a proactive thing. But it's just so, yeah, it's hard to really promote that as a solution because we're just not able to do it enough. But the whole concept is good, and like Jonas being interested in it and promoting it on Facebook, it's sort of a movement, the repair movement. And there was legislation this year to try to make repair easier for the public. But maybe a couple more comments and then we'll wrap up. I don't want to take up too much of your meeting if we have any more comments or questions.
Anybody?
Should I
Well,
say-
Tom, I want to thank you very much. This is, something that I totally dig. I can tell that you've been passionate about this for a very long time.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate everything that you all do in your Rotary Club work and in your personal lives and trying to make the world a better place. So thank you for having me today. And please, let me know if you have any questions or follow up. I don't see, it doesn't look like there's any. I do see the chat now. And I thank you for putting that what do I do with link on there, that direct link that is on the chat. And yeah, let me know if I can ever help you with anything. And thank you so much for having me to talk to you today.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
How is everybody?
Great.
Everybody's good. God, I missed that whole thing. I had some computer problems, and I hope somebody can fill me in at some point. That one sounds like it was a good one.
You know, that we've had Tom reminds me of Bill Nye, but in like a recycling.
Oh my gosh, Jonas, I was thinking the same
Yeah.
thing.
You know, when I was watching some YouTube videos, it's like, I love this guy is perfect for this stuff. But you know, that's we've had a couple speakers about this, but it is important. And I think he is just really good at delivering the message because he's an interesting person, you know, and we are, you know, we do go out and do street cleanups when and promote those things. But more importantly, you know, we have David taking over here at the end of June. So we do need to schedule we need to get together and figure that out and have a pass the gavel, maybe like we did last year. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I know that probably most of us will have had our vaccines by the end of this month, right? If you're into that thing. I know my daughter last night, she's 12, she signed up to get her first. So she was so excited.
Good
I
for
guess
her.
the kids are like just really excited to get vaccinated. So, but anyway, I know that we need to schedule a time, and maybe Big Steve's place would be good again, Leroy.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to talk to him. He was out of town all last week with his brother's passing, but I'll get a hold of him today. That's on my list. I know that, and I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think we could probably count on that.
Yeah, and maybe we'll. I mean, God, it seems like it's time, right?
Yeah.
To see each other. So let's do that. Anybody have anything that they want to mention?
I want to share a quick story about this. I did a baseball game last night at Mount Si High School. First time I've been on their new field. And I sometimes chat with the catchers if it feels right. And well, you know, the seniors who were seniors last year that went through the baseball program, we built a new high school and we tore out a beautiful baseball field that was down there in the corner. That was pretty new. It was like 5 years old. But there were seniors who graduated last year who went for their first 3 years of playing baseball without ever doing a home game. They had to drive to Bannerwood for home games. And then they're all set up for March 8th opening at their brand new baseball field as seniors to have their senior season, and it gets canceled. And I just, that hits pretty hard. I mean, that made me put a perspective on what it means to what this pandemic shutdown has meant. And those were kids who never had a home baseball game and did not have a senior baseball season. I mean, it's maybe a little thing in the grand scheme of things, but it for those players was huge. I just
Well, it's interesting. You know, I do a lot of work with the chamber, and Kelly Coughlin mentioned to me that I didn't know this, but the state of Washington, this is what she says, and I don't know if it's true or not, but is the most shut down state out of all states right now. So, in fact, what Pierce County is talking about going back to level 1 or phase one or whatever it is. So, so anyway, yeah, it'd be nice to see you guys. And with my new place, we have the perfect 2-deck. We can have an event here because we have a beautiful 2 decks that overlook downtown Seattle, and it'd be a great cookout area maybe later this summer.
Where are you, Jonas? Where did you move to?
Newcastle.
Oh, is
Yeah.
that's where you're living now, like permanently,
No,
or is that a
We
temporary?
sold our house and we're renting this for at least a year. Because in the rental market, guys, is absolutely insane. I had to pay for a whole year to get this place because of the competition.
Yep.
So,
Are you on the big Newcastle Hill looking down at,
yeah, you know what's funny is Scott Greenberg's brother-in-law, right? Scott lives across the street.
Oh.
So we're up on, well, I can see the golfers.
Yeah.
In the distance, but it's pretty sweet. I didn't know much about this area. So, hey, there's Tom. You guys remember Tom? Tom would visit the club from Pennsylvania. Oh, nice. Hey, Tom.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Good to be out here.
Yeah, we were just wrapping it up, Tom.
Yeah, I was getting up a little late this morning, but
Well, no.
I'll do better next week.
Are you in town or are you in Pennsylvania?
No, I'm in North Bend.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, does anybody need any help with anything this week?
Oh, no, thanks. Just getting adjusted to the hours, and good to be here with the Rotary and my family.
Yeah, awesome.
Good to have you back.
Thanks for joining us. All right, well, we'll work on that date. Hopefully, in the next few weeks, we can get something scheduled. David and Leroy, maybe. I guess depends on Steve, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be okay. I'll get a hold of him here this morning.
Cool. Stacy, when are you? Are you in a bathroom? Where are you? Where are you?
I'm in where do I live right now? Snoqualmie.
But you're not at your old house.
I am in the old house. I'm in the
Oh.
office.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're out of there
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. Oh my God.
Wow.
I feel sorry.
Good
for
luck.
you. Yeah.
Where are you going, Stacy? Are you moving tomorrow? Like,
Yeah.
Carla, are you new to the game? What is going on? Like,
I guess.
this conversation
Well, I know
happened-
she's moving up north. I just didn't know like when all of that was taking place. You're moving to Linden, right?
Linden. Yeah. Tomorrow. Yeah.
Like for good. Like
For good. Yeah. But I'll be down here on Wednesday and Thursdays for work. Yeah.
That's what I told. I met one of her coworkers that recently started for you. And I said, well, I think all management for Snow Falls Credit Union has to live in Canada. Because their CEO lives up there, correct?
And he lives in Blaine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not Canada. Jonas.
Not quite.
Yeah. Close.
I'm about 6 minutes from Canada, from the Sumas border.
Well, hey, great to see everybody, and have an awesome weekend.
Jonas?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Are we having a Rotary golf meeting?
Yes, I forgot.
Yeah.
So let's. Who is that? You, me, and Steve?
David, I
David?
think. Yes. Stacy.
Stacy. So everybody else, hasta la vista. We're gonna talk some golf.
Bye, everybody. Have a good day.
have a great week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Good luck yourself.